New crew, NYC, in Brooklyn, still here. All right, what up, what up, what up? It is another episode of The Crew, episode 7, and today we have a very special guest for you after a huge win over the Arizona Cardinals that I attended. Eagles cornerback Darius Slay in the building. And of course, we are going to talk about those Giants who are 4-1. We've got the New York Daily News reporter Pat Leonard to talk about the Giants who are 4-1. Really quickly, you can always join us at thecrewnyc.com. That's the URL to our YouTube channel. And of course, we always put out our show on Twitter. But for further ado, we got somebody back in the building who's been MIA. You know Morris can't wait to talk to him. It is time for a crew call. Oh, well, look who it is.
Oh, he's
Fred
right. Oh,
Smoot.
wow.
Fred
I was
Smoot
yeah.
has been located and back on the show, ladies.
Yeah.
Fred, just
I was,
go ahead.
I was real concerned about Fred's well-being. I wanted to do a welfare check.
Yeah, you should have.
There, because I got to see what's going on with my dog out there in D.C. What's up?
Morris, I've been hurt. My feelings been hurt. Everything. Like, you should have did that wellness check because I've been running for some weeks right now. Like, we look bad. We look bad.
Okay.
And welcome, Morris. Welcome, Morris Chestnut, everybody.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Let that dog off the leash. He want to go. Let him go and get his just due. All right?
No, we're gonna get to it.
We'll get to that.
We're gonna save it for when our special guest comes on. Don't worry about it. Let's just go straight to the head. Unless you got something else to say, Fred. You got some quick smack talking you want to say?
Oh no. This is what I want to say. Hey, Philadelphia is who we thought they was. I told you, Morris, they was gonna be good, and you told me. You told me Jalen Hurts. You was up and down about him, and I told you
I wasn't sure. I said I wasn't sure. I'm on the record.
And I said I was. I said he's a baller, and now you're seeing it.
No, not a doubt. And listen, I don't. This is one thing about me is that when it comes to the business, I don't mind having an opinion, and I don't mind being wrong. I just gonna stay.
Is that true? You don't mind being wrong? I don't know about that.
No, I don't mind being wrong. I just gotta stay true to what I think and what I feel. Now, I'm not gonna get on here and say, yeah, I thought Jalen Hurts was the second coming since we drafted him. No, I was unsure. Yeah, I was unsure about Jalen, and I'm glad that he's progressed very well, and he's going out.
Well, let me move y'all along because we got lots to talk about and lots to get to. Here we go for the headlines. All right. Well, I don't know if y'all saw that Monday Night Football game with the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Raiders fell again. I don't know if you saw it, Morris. Did you see it? The Raiders are now 1-4 after losing 30-29.
I did. It was a crushing blow for the Raiders to lose that game. I mean, they had a few things go wrong. I think Waller going out very early. You play the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. You need all your weapons. You can't go in there. You can't go in there with a pea shooter. You need your bazookas, your cannons, your tanks. You need everything going in there. And they lost a big weapon early on, and then just everything was just a little bit off. Then the next play just a little off in the timing and the routes between he and Renfro, because that would have been another big play. Everything was just a little bit off of playing the Chiefs, and it was a tough one.
Let's be honest. All right, that game was 17-0 until Chris Jones got that sack fumble, and they took it away. When they took it away from Kansas City, they woke up. And when they woke those bees up, them bees will drop fifth ward bees on you. And that's what happened. Kansas City came alive. They started to make the plays. The Raiders didn't make the plays, like you said, with Waller going out. That's a weapon of mass destruction right there. All right, that takes away a lot. But I think the attitude changed when they said, all right, if y'all gonna try to cheat us, we gonna beat you up fist to fist, and that's what happened.
So the question is, do the bad? Go ahead. No. Well, the question is, do the bad luck ghosts follow the Raiders? Because
No.
when you look at Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, is it just bad luck? I mean, or are you putting it on the call that he went for 2 when they were down 1 point, couldn't
No.
tie it? Or I mean, there's so many things that happen that we got to get to in this game.
All right decisions. They had to go for 2 right there. You got to realize I got a kicker that already missed a field goal earlier. I don't trust him. He's a fill-in. He's fill-in Frank. So no, I'm not trusting him. I'm gonna go try to win that game right then. I thought the Raiders played well, and don't forget they might be 1-4, but they've lost every game by 2 points to 3 points. This is a tough team.
Is that bad luck? Is that bad luck?
No, that's not bad luck. And football don't got luck in it. Either you win or you don't. The best team wins most of the time. Now, here go the thing about it. With the Raiders, they got a new head coach. It's David Carr's 5th playbook. It's gonna take them. Derek, it's gonna take them a little bit to get rolling.
Well, I'm
And
just saying.
also,
go ahead, Morris.
In addition to what Fred is saying is that I don't think Derek Carr played during the preseason, and I think holding him out with, like I say, a new playbook, new head coach, and they're just right on the cusp. A couple of tweaks here and there. What I like what they've started doing the past couple of games, they've been feeding Jacobs. They didn't do that like the first couple of games. The past couple of games, they've been feeding Jacobs, and you put yourself in position to win the game on the road against a team to where many people feel are going to be in the AFC Championship game. The only
reason why I say that, guys, is because, look, Carr had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh Jacobs, 154 rushing. Adams had 124 receiving. You still don't win the game. Travis Kelce says it's the roughing the call on Chris Jones that spurred him, as you said, Smooth. And then Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams run into each other in the last play. That just seems like a lot.
No. They didn't run into each other voluntarily. They ran into each other because their corner went down and jammed Devontae. And when he jammed Devontae, it knocked off all the time. And the other guys on the other side get paid too. This ain't got nothing to do with the Raiders. Vegas is where they supposed to be at right now. I'm sorry, Kansas City is the better team. Like, let's not sit here and make it like they're not the better team. And then when
we're up 17-0.
Yeah, and I used to be a priest. Everything changes at the time. Everything changes at the time. Like, you got to finish the game. The game is 4 quarters. They just got beat by a better team. Nothing wrong with that.
Like you said, and this is what I do want to know, Fred. And that's always like to have experts like yourself on the field. On the show, is that you talk about dropping them 5th Ward Bs. My mind be playing tricks on me because I don't understand how Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce is always open. Short yardage situation, goal line situations. If there's anybody you want to make sure you guard, is Travis Kelce. How is he always getting open?
I seen him in the airport. He was open then. I seen him in the bathroom. He was open then. Like, some people just got the skills to get open. Like, there's a reason why he's great. And it ain't just he gets open. Him and Mahomes have a connection, a very intimate connection. They don't have to change plays with sign language. They change plays with looks. And the one thing that Mahomes is very good with when it comes to Kelce in the red zone, he know how to wait, now let it go. He can buy time for himself. So it's a mixture between those two on why they so good. Because we see when Mahomes goes out, Kelce is not open as much. But the arm of Pat Mahomes allows him to be open all the time.
And really quickly, did you guys see where, obviously, very frustrated after the win, Devontae Adams pushes the production crew worker, looked like a photographer after the game. In the locker room, he immediately apologized without being asked. But I don't know. Do you have an issue with the photographer being maybe where he shouldn't have been? Maybe he should be there or not, walking in front of him, or is this all on Devontae?
Cry me a river. Hey, people get ran over on the football field. It's a little push. He'll be all right. Hey, man, listen, it might cost him. He might get fined for it. Yes, he will. But I don't think it's a deal breaker. Hey, we're frustrated, man. That's why I always tell people, don't put a mic in our face 5 minutes after a game. We're hot. We're still emotional.
Well,
this is the thing. This is the thing. You have on the field at any given time, was it 53 minutes?
Yeah.
53 alpha males who are literally battling.
Yeah, at war.
For 4 quarters. to where you have to get yourself up to where it's will against will, it's strength against strength. You have to be at such a level mentally just to even be on the field.
Yeah.
So you can't ask someone 1 minute to be in a battle and then the next minute act like, you're sitting at home on the couch and everything is good. You can't do that. It's a highly emotional game.
Yeah.
You got to give them some leeway on that.
All right. Well, speaking of media and not having a microphone on your face at the end, let's bring in Pat Leonard to talk about the Giants. Everybody welcome in Pat Leonard right now.
What up, Pat?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Josina, thank you as always for having me here.
Yes,
the Giants, is that an NFL team, the Giants?
Oh, God.
Where do they play?
Wow.
London knows.
Is it New Hampshire? Is it the New Hampshire Giants? Oh.
New Hampshire Giants.
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out where they play.
Listen, he's in rare form because when we get to his Eagles, he's not going to be able to stop frothing at the mouth.
Disgusting.
Exactly. But listen, Pat, I just want to ask you really quick. Is it too early to crown Brian Daboll right now? Saquon Barkley says he's made a huge difference on his team. Your thoughts on the fact that they're 4-1 and beat the Green Bay Packers in London?
Yeah, no, Josina, it's not too early to say that not only Daboll, but Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator who came from the Chiefs, and Don Martindale, the defensive coordinator who came from the Ravens. Josina, frankly, that they are outscoring teams 70-39 in the second half. And what that is at halftime when they typically start slow and they don't look like a 4-1 team in most of these first halves. But when the coaching staff gets to see what the opponent's doing, goes into the locker room and comes out in the third quarter, they have a solution basically every week. And there's no way to look at it and not say that Daboll and the staff have this kind of positive and winning effect on what they're doing right now.
I know this is hard for a Commanders fan and an Eagles fan to listen to. You okay over there, Fred?
I'm about to throw up in my own mouth, but it's all good over here. It's all good.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, okay, and I'm always on record. So, as an Eagles fan, it's a long season, right?
Thank you.
5-0, but anything can happen in an NFL. Teams start off well, then they fall off. Teams start off bad, and then they get better. So for the Eagles, anything can happen. This is what I will say about the Giants. I do think that there is a new sheriff in town in Daboll, because these are games that the Giants would have been losing. They would have lost last year that they're actually winning.
Absolutely.
So I'll give him credit for that. But what I will also say is that it's a long season. They have a new system in. They have to get some film out there on what Daboll and the defensive coordinator are doing. If they keep this up, towards the end of the season, when we get to the middle and towards the end, then, I'll give them a lot of props. And I give them a lot of props now, but it's a long season.
Hey, no, I'm going to say this about the NFC East. I've been in the NFC East my whole career. I've watched them from afar beforehand. The one thing I can say about the NFC East, we either all good at one time or we all stink at one time. And right now, right now we in that grace period where we the bottom feeders, but I'm telling you, we coming and everybody else is on top of there. But I do get a Giants props. You change the coach, you change the outlook, and people don't believe this. 300 degrees coaching, player is right there. It's an inch apart. You show me a great coach, I show you some great players. You show me a bad coach, I show you some bad players.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And before I have a question for Pat, but before I get there, Fred, when we say all, was that
Yeah, that was all. Quotation. All.
All good in the NFC East. I just want to check that. All good. Okay.
Hey, you know what, Morris? When you go to a broody pageant, everybody there is beautiful, but somebody got to win. Somebody got to win.
Booty pageant. Oh my God.
I'm not sure if I saw some beautiful stuff.
I can't get Ron Rivera's stare out of my head. Quarterback.
Quarterback. That was cold-blooded by Coach Rivera, and I think it had a lot to do with him being emotional, him feeling the heat, and the fact. And let's be honest, Carson Wentz is number 3 or number 4 passing in the league, but the problem is he can make plays, and he proved to us all game. But can you make them when it count? You see what Pat Mahomes did last night? Make them when it count, and I think that's what's happening. But I'm also gonna be real with myself. Carson Wentz is only 5 games old as a Commander. Like, he's only 5 games old.
Well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get – well, go ahead.
Okay, okay. We'll get to that later. As a former Eagle fan, I will say that he can make some when it counts. We'll discuss that later. But, Pat, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Pat, what do you see in terms of schemes with the offense for the Giants that's making a big difference with how are they able to come back on somebody like the Green Bay Packers, who were supposed to have a really strong defense with
Saquon Barkley.
Right,
that's the two-word answer. Well, first of all, I'll say this, and not that the Giants don't deserve credit, but Joe Barry and the Packers, like if you watch the game, like they barely blitzed Daniel Jones, and kudos to the Giants offensive line for protecting him, but the four-man rush kind of stopped getting there, and the Packers just didn't adjust. They didn't throw extra men at him. He doesn't really have any star receivers on the field with him right now, so it's a little strange that, you know, once they could protect the four-man rush, he had a lot of time to throw. But the answer is it's Saquon and how they employ him. Sometimes it's what you see coming and it still works, like the Wildcat, which they're using more now. And they got guys like Matt Breida, who is a runner, playing fullback in the Wildcat, making a big block on the outside on, I think it might have been Savage, to spring Barkley on a 40-yard gain. So they're using guys maybe in spaces that people haven't before, but trusting them to make that play like Breida did there. And frankly, they're using Daniel Jones's legs. Other coaches have as well, but they're encouraging him and they're kind of putting him in strategic spots to succeed. He does seem to have learned, and they've seemed to coach out of him this recklessness with the ball when he does get on the move. He's throwing better on the run when he rolls out. Doesn't happen all the time, but I'm going to dig more into why that is, how they've technically coached him there, because some of those adjustments really have shown. And the last thing I would say on usage of Barkley is that 41-yard catch and run in the second half. I'm digging deeper into why they confused the Packers so bad, but they had him lined up as a slot receiver on that play, and the Packers had an all-time coverage bust. I mean, there wasn't anyone within 20 yards of him. So, yeah, that's a defensive mistake, but I think I have a good hunch that Kafka and the Giants set that up and that they had the Packers confused. You can see the middle linebacker pointing and thinking someone else has Barkley when he does.
Okay. So in all fairness, I can understand them setting it up, right? But if I'm the Green Bay Packers, and I have this question for you too.
Yeah.
Did the Giants win the game or did the Packers lose the game? Because if I'm the Packers, aren't the Giants' first four wide receivers injured? There's nobody else on the field that I'm really concerned about but Saquon Barkley. So when he comes out of the huddle, I'm identifying where that man is. I'm putting two people on him.
They drunk
two people on him.
They was in London. They drunk too much Earl Grey. And then what happened? But hey, as I watch Daniel Jones, he's tightened up his throwing stance. Like the one thing about Carson Wentz, his legs are spread too wide. All right. Now you're talking about not only a long base, you're talking about a long throwing motion. And they tightened up Daniel Jones' throwing motion, and they just told him straight up, you turn the ball over, we going to bench you. I think that's what Daboll told him. I'm not married to you. If you take care of the ball, I'll take care of you.
Well, listen, someone asked them, or Brian Daboll, if they were the worst 4-1 team. They got 2 wins against the Panthers and the Bears, 2 wins against the Titans and the Packers. I mean, I don't know what you say about the Panthers and the Bears, but
all NFL teams.
All NFL teams.
A win on Sundays, a win on Sunday.
Win on Sunday. I'm sorry. It is. You get baptized in church, it's in the name of the Lord.
Okay, well, listen, Pat, we appreciate you coming on to talk about the Giants. As always, I hope you do dig into that question and figure out how the hell they solved Daniel Jones' fumbleitis. As always, we appreciate you. What?
We need to have Pat back on after we play the Eagles and the Commandos.
God.
Is that the name?
Please.
Is it the
Please. Commandos?
Is it the Commodores?
Commandalorians. Hey, Commandalorians. This is the way. This is the way.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Josina.
Listen, Pat,
thank you,
we
guys.
appreciate having you.
Appreciate it, Pat.
Appreciate it.
All
Take care,
right,
fellas.
all right. So guess what, guys? On the other side, we have our crew crib guest, Eagles cornerback Darius Slay, coming up on the other side in the building. All right. Well, look who is in the building. Darius Slay, ladies and gentlemen. Morris Chestnut, are you about to lose your mind?
Hey, first of all, do not put him and Morris together because he is more connected to me as a Mississippi State Bulldog than he is Morris, all right? It's about
Fred, we're not talking about 30 years ago, dog. We're talking about this season, all right? We can reminisce about the past, but we're gonna enjoy the present.
Hey, I'm telling hey, you know what? You never forget where you're born at. And he came out the womb in Stark Vegas, baby. That's where that happened at. He got Big Play Slay. He got that name, Big Play Slay, playing in Stark Vegas, man. You need to realize that.
Oh, please. Can I properly welcome in the 4-time Pro Bowler, Darius? Say, how you feeling this morning?
I'm good. How everybody else doing?
Oh,
good,
yeah.
Man. We good. We real good. Well, some of us are real good. Some of
us
keep that.
Keep that. This is why I'm feeling bad. Listen, when it comes to my Bulldogs, I cheer for them at least 15 games a year. Now, when they play Washington, I don't cheer for them, all right? I just watch them. And I can say this about my boy, Big Play Slay. He came into FedEx Field and became a prison warden, all right? A prison warden. He locked down everybody. He locked down the janitor, the coaches, and the players.
He did.
Listen. I just had an opportunity to talk to Darius Slay when I was in the locker room after they beat the Cardinals, went on to be 5-0. He said he was so hyped that they were 5-0 that he might not let nobody sleep on the plane. Darius, did you let people sleep on the plane?
Nah, we didn't sleep on the plane. We was up all day.
Y'all was turned up?
Right. Lit on the plane. I'm talking about up and down the aisle. Everybody was mad at us. Everybody trying to get sleep up there. We ain't making nobody get to sleep.
Okay, so how y'all been celebrating? Go ahead.
We just chopping it up, man. Just talking about the games and
doing a little gambling, a little bit of everything.
Big play. Talk to me, brother. So what do you think has been the biggest turnaround in the defense? Is it Bradbury on the other side of you? Is it the addition of the big boy in the middle?
Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis. What do you think has been the biggest adjustment or the biggest difference between this year and last year?
My honest opinion, I just think a lot of people on the defensive end just kind of like bought into what coach is doing, and coaches bought into us as in finding the right position to get the guys in to win. And last year everything was like, to me, felt like a test run for some folks. First time DC, so he trying to figure out what kind of works for guys. And then coming into our second year, man, he understood us and watched us as a player in an off season, and all put us in a great position. Of course, the additions work. We have some great additions. So I don't know how the Giants let James Bradbury out the building, but that's crazy. But we appreciate him.
Yeah, let's call a team being cheap as hell. That's what this called. All right, but at the end of But Slay, I gotta ask you this, man. On the other side of the ball is the one that shocked me to death, man. Jalen Hurts is playing out his damn mind. AJ Brown is a damn beast. Smitty can run past anybody. You got tight ends galore. You got Miles Sanders at the running back. My God, where's the weakness at on the offense, man?
Themselves, honestly.
Yeah.
Man, we ain't surprised by Jalen. I mean, because, when he first came in as a rookie, man, you just saw the mindset, how he always competed at a high level. Him always being the underdog really pushed him. And coming in, he always had to sit behind. He had to sit behind Wentz. He had lost his spot up there in Alabama and had to transfer. So he had to overcome a lot of situations. So he got a lot of big chip on his shoulder, man. He come out there and execute, man. He been working hard for sure.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. Now I got a couple questions. I don't know if you can be able to answer them or not, because
I'm so tired of your questions. All these Eagles questions, man.
People want to know. The people want to know. So a lot of people are, Philadelphia. Sometimes it's hard. They just can't accept people just winning. And some people are a little not
skeptical,
disappointed with the loss, skeptical because they thought that. You guys pulled up off the Cardinals a little bit. They were a little concerned that the win was a little bit more narrow than they thought. Were you guys looking ahead a little bit to the Cowboys? I know Arizona's very talented. That boy Colin Murray, he moves around the field. He a Smurf. Very tough to contain. But do you think that any attention was on the Cowboys for this upcoming huge game this week?
No, man. I just think it's a football game, man. It's a lot of ups and downs that go into the game, man. We came out into halftime. I think their defense came out with a good game plan. And, we try to match the intensity because them guys on their defense side were really flying around, man, making a lot of plays. And, so it's just a game. Anybody can lose at any given time. So we was locked in for sure. But, as soon as we came off the field, it was all about the Cowboys because, I feel like, honestly, if we could go 2-14, but we beat Dallas twice. We might still be a lit city.
Right.
Man.
And Darius, I was looking up this stuff about. I didn't even know you are 31 already. I'm like, where has the time gone? And then I was
Oh, yeah.
all the time that you've been in Detroit. I was like, you just maybe you just feel brand new because now we're seeing you more, playing with Philly. And then I was looking at all your coaches that you had: Schwartz, Caldwell, Patricia, Bevel, Peterson, and then now Sirianni or what have you. I mean, can you tell me, has your appreciation, for Philly and just being on the Eagles team grown since you left Detroit?
Oh yeah, man, for sure, man. They love me in Philly for some reason, but I'll be enjoying it, man. But
because you do your job. You do your job. They love you.
They love you when you do your job.
Yeah.
Up when you ain't.
I know that. That's the part that I hope you don't get to see of Philadelphia, because they turned on Santa Claus, so they'll turn on you, Slay. You know this.
I'm talking about quick, but I've been enjoying it.
Go ahead,
I've been embracing the city, man. The city been embracing me, showing me a good time, man. Experiencing a lot of things, man. So I'm enjoying it. I love it. I appreciate Philly for sure. Believing in me, trusting in me to come over here and execute my job at a high level. I'm loving it right now.
Hey, Morris, don't you say nothing. Morris, don't you say nothing. I know you about to ask a question. Don't you ask no question, Morris. I'm finna ask him a football question. Here we go. All right, Big Play. I had teamed up with Champ Bailey as a rookie in my second, third year. Then I teamed up with Sean Springs. Then I teamed up with D'Angelo Hall, Antoine Winfield, Carlos Rogers. So I know how it feels to team up with somebody that can play just as good as you on the other side. Tell me how this took your game to the next level with Bradbury being on the other side, forcing people to throw back at you.
Yeah, man. It's good, man. Honestly, man, I play with a lot of great guys in the league for sure. JB is for sure one of the best ones because he been a Pro Bowl and all kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it helps out a lot because it takes a lot of pressure off me because I've been a time when I felt like I had the pressure to make plays when the plays came my way. But now, man, I kind of play a lot fluent, man, more smooth, more understanding because I know JB handling his job on a high level over there as well. And I've been on a team where somebody got picked on every play.
Every play, yep.
Every play. So, but with JB over there, you can't pick on him because by that time you keep doing that, we both 2 picks in right now, so it can get ugly every time.
Right now, now of the past couple of years, I thought I was reading some quotes, and I was getting the feeling, Big Play, that you was looking forward to hanging up the cleats a little bit. You wanted to become like more of a mentor. Was that right? Was that what you were feeling the past couple of years?
Not actually.
We don't quit.
I always want to play
Not that
10
he quit,
plus,
but it just
what
felt.
I'm saying?
What's that?
I said I always wanted to play 10 plus years in the league, but I knew a time I'm ready to hang up because it's so much better, teaching folks and learning for helping guys improve. Watching other people improve as I feel good when a guy believes into me, as in what I told him to do on the field and execute. So that's way more bigger than me than making any type of play on the field because it's just like definitely for sure another black man. So I love that, and that's what I like doing. But yeah, my time gonna come for sure. I ain't gonna say not too soon. I can honestly play about 5 or 6 more years, but am I?
I've been saying, play till the wheels fall off of that truck, Slay. Don't do it. Hey, I got into that point where I was like, hey, I got a decision to make. Do I really love it like I used to? Is it bringing it out of me? And I can't say I have regrets, but I do. But my body told me I had to quit. It wasn't me. Yeah. But long as your body allows you to play this game, brother, I don't care if you 73. Roll that wheelchair out there and you shut their ass down.
Listen, Darius,
I got one more question.
Oh shit!
You done locked up Jefferson. You done locked up the youngster in Jefferson. That was a huge game for you. Now, are you gonna start traveling with these receivers, or y'all just gonna stay on each other's side?
Well, it's whatever need to be done. I'm a team player first, as in if my coach need me to do it, I would do it. I'm always open up to do it. So I just believe into the coach and the system they want me to do. If they need to stand left and right, I'll do it. They want me to travel, I'll go travel. So come that week, they got 2 great receivers, Thielen and what's it, boy?
Jefferson.
So I was like, hey, what do we need to work? So coach like, nah, so you go get him for better matchups, better speed and all that kind of stuff. So whatever they need, I can do it. But I always kind of want to travel, but if I don't, I'm cool with it too.
Hey, Kirk Cousins will make you a millionaire, Slay. Kirk Cousins, hey, you know what? He'll give you a chance, and he'll give you a chance, Slay.
Every time. That's why I love it.
Hey, listen, the Minnesota Vikings are doing their thing right now.
Yeah, bullshit.
And Kirk Cousins will be on the program at some point, and we will appreciate that too. Hey, listen, Darius, I wanted to ask you really quickly. We were talking about Nick Sirianni in the locker room the other day, and I know how things were kind of when you left Detroit or what have you. I'm just curious, what's the difference between how Nick Sirianni treats y'all as men versus kind of maybe what you experienced in Detroit?
Yeah, man. He treats us like men, family, everything. So it's a big difference from. I don't know how the building is now, but when I was in Detroit with the coach, it was a lot different, man. So, but over here, man,
you call him the coach?
He the coach. He don't got a name for me.
The old coach.
The old coach. So
okay. He doesn't. Why doesn't he have a name, Darius?
Oh man, everybody know why he don't got a name. They know how it is. So right. I'm glad. I'm thankful I'm a changed person by now. By that time, that's what it was. But
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Nick, man, he treats us like men. He appreciate us. He take care of us as a team. And he understand the game, man. He played football before, as in but he been around great guys because I can see what kind of tree he came from under because Caldwell did the same thing to us when he was there in Detroit.
Yeah.
So I got the same type of treatment that, because they both came from under that organization. And they understand about how important the body is and how important it is to be connected as a family and in the room. So that's all you feel around the building. A lot of family oriented, man, like the staff, from all the way down to the janitors. Everybody appreciated everybody in that building, and that's what really the big goal is.
But how important is that, Darius? Because is it sometimes that
Slay.
Yeah, sorry.
Slay. Anyone.
Slay. What your mama called you.
If his mama called him Slay, I'm going to call him Slay, all right?
He calls, okay. Listen, but my thing is that you talking about that and you say, thank God you kind of a changed man right now. But how much can a relationship that's off just impact, the building? Because it's
everything.
But it's not as if Matt didn't know football. So I'm just curious how much of that aspect really can just be a switch on or switch off.
Switch on. Oh, shoot, the only thing that got us going because we all getting paid a lot of money.
Yes, sir. Tell her again.
So if we get paid a lot of money and I got a job to do it, and I'm a real big guy in my room. I've been a leader in my room. I always play for my guys in the room for sure. So that's before anything. So but other than that, shoot, if it wasn't for no money, man, what?
Hey, listen, I was just in Philadelphia last week. I was riding around trying to get me a cheesesteak. I pulled up to a family. The man had a beard. The wife had a beard. And the child had a beard. So tell me what's going on. What's in the water in Philadelphia? Everybody got beards up that month.
I do not know. I need them to help me patch mine all the way.
So y'all got the Cowboys coming up next. I'm just curious. I know you haven't gotten to full installations yet, but any thoughts on how well Cooper Rush is playing right now? They're 4-0. He's got 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 61 completion rate. I don't know if your opinion about the Cowboys without Dak Prescott.
Game manager. My fault.
He's doing what as he do, man. What he should be doing as a backup quarterback. They blessed enough to have a great one. I think a great one that's behind Dak right now that can manage the game until Dak get back or whatever. But he playing at a good level for us. So we out here going to compete, execute the job, and we looking forward to it. So we know they got a great defense. So we know we got to come out there and play hard as well.
And then what I was finna bring up, I was gonna bring up that defense because y'all got a great defense. They got a great defense, and I know when I played, I used to love watching the other people. Have you been watching Diggs? Because you and Diggs are the two top in this division. How you feel Diggs playing this year?
Diggs playing amazing. I always watch Diggs. He's a talented guy, man. I've been knowing Darius since he was in college. We've been always chatting it up a little bit because, like I said, I like being a big brother mentor. So he played my position. I don't mind helping him, giving him tips on things, stuff on the Eagles. We don't give him no tips on that.
I feel you.
But just as a player, man, because I want him to be a successful guy, man. But he been playing it right, man. He been living good too, for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna say he living right. That's what we say in the defensive back room. When balls just fall in your hand, he living right.
He live good. Good. So. He's a great dude, man. Great dude, man. Play hard. You can see his cover skills getting better, man. He's improving.
Yep.
And man, I'm looking forward because Scott gonna be a limit for that kid. He gonna be for sure one of the best in the game for a long time.
It's interesting that if you take off the jerseys, the team, the names, do you see a little bit of yourself in Diz? Because you guys kind of look a little similar out there the way you play. Did you see a little bit of yourself?
Of course, because he got a kind of like a similar story to me as well, as in like, except for I just went JUCO, but a guy that was kind of like not polished enough, the NFL scouts would say, because I ain't do too. I went to JUCO, so I ain't do too many years at Michigan.
I went to JUCO too, brother. You know how I go.
I know exactly what you went.
I went to JUCO, but I didn't make it to the league. But go ahead.
That's because you. The only reason you didn't make it more is because you got shot in the alleyway and boys in the hood.
It had me crying.
I was crying too. Then I found out he was still alive. What kind of shit is that?
Come on, man.
You were saying you kind of see a little bit of yourself in him.
Yeah, because they saying like, they, as a scout would say, they say he's raw but got a lot of potential. So I was a guy that was raw and had a lot of potential too. So we both fell into the second round. We both got overlooked, and and now you see one of us as the best in our class. So that's how I'll be going. And the same thing, like I said, scouts could always be wrong, man. Because guys, they just be looking at paper and be like, "Oh, this dude look good, and that dude look good," and it don't work like that.
They just like the weatherman. They never right.
They never right. We could get some guys, some real true ball players out there, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
And Slay, I'm really curious too when it comes to, because CEE DEE Lamb obviously did his thing last year, over 1,000 yards, but Amari Cooper went over to Cleveland. So sometimes it can be different for the wide receivers. Once another one leaves, and now they got the defensive attention more on them. Do you think that he's playing the same way with Amari Cooper gone, Cedric Wilson gone over to Miami?
I ain't gonna say that because I ain't had watching their film, but it is tough. That is a tough position because having Coop, he drew a lot of attention. Every time I played Dallas, that's who I was following too, Coop.
Yep.
So when you and with us at the times when I was following Coop, with us not having like a solid number 2 as well as like can match up with with him. He have his times to get it going. So he does draw a lot of attention from Coop, but with him being the number 1 guy, that's what he got to sign up for. That's why they drafted him in the first round to be that guy. So, I hope nothing but the best for him. And that's not against us, but against everybody else. I hope nothing but the best for him because he's a talented dude, man. And I'm looking forward to competing. So, he got to see about me. For sure.
He got to see about it. Well, he's got Micah Gallup, back, rehabbing after that ACL, because I know Gallup missed the first 3, but he's starting to come back around. So hopefully that'll help detract some of the tension away from CeeD DEE Lamb. What you about to say?
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game.
Hey, listen. I like matchups, and I always look at matchup. And we know as cornerbacks, we don't always match up with everybody well. That's the whole thing about it. Just because you're good with this body type, you're not good with that body type. Slay, you very good. You very good with body types that look you eye to eye. Like no matter how fast they is, how strong they is, if they look you eye to eye, you are very, very good with them. And CeeD DEE Lamb hasn't showed me that he can constantly beat number 1 corners. I watched him the first game. I watched him the second game. He only causes trouble when he moves to the slot. Now, if they have you following him, are you comfortable inside?
I'm comfortable anywhere we can go.
What
I was when I was in Detroit. You never been in the system, but I know you know about that Patriot system.
I know about the system. Yep.
0 man every play. I was in Detroit. That's all I did was in the slot, outside, and everything. So it's nothing for me to do anywhere. Whatever I need to do to get the job done to help this team win, I'm gonna do it.
Well, Slay, I want you. I had a little interesting conversation with you at the locker because one of the things when I asked you about coming on this show, and I let you know that Morris Chestnut was was on the show. You had a little comment about your lady. So you want to share that with us?
I'm gonna share it because I'm told her. So, as you know, in dating, when I was dating in college or whatever, it's like you come on, see when we watch The Best Man, you coming on with your hat on in that episode with everybody in the meeting room, and you come in looking left and right, and everybody just glossing. She over here glossing. I said, what? My lady cannot beat Morris Chestnut. If this one person that go get her, he's gonna get her from me. So I'm like, no, sir.
Don't do it, Slay. Don't do it, Slay.
I ain't do it. My wife now, she think Morris Chestnut the sexiest man in the world.
No. Hey, do not do it. Hey, Morris, my girl can never tell me I'm sitting at a restaurant and I'm looking at Morris Chestnut out of rock. I'm going to tell Morris, like, you need to get the hell up and get the hell out of there. That's what you need to do.
That's what's going on. I'm on the way.
Hey, look, sometimes when we're talking on the show, Slay, Morris, is a long time married person. He claims to, be the wise,
the man of the Lord.
Oh, stop it! And obviously, we know that you have your lady too. I'm just saying, Slade, do you with the people listening out there, as we just change the topic really quickly, do you have your advice for single people like me and Fred as far as what is the key to long relationship?
No, you're single, not me. I'm dating.
I'm single. Oh, you dating? I'm sorry.
I'm dating people right now.
Okay, what is the key then for me? I guess
Fred ain't single. He's plural.
Yeah. You know.
My fault. But long time married person in Morris, you got your. So as we just kind of switch, just so people get to know you a little bit, what's the key? What's the key?
I don't honestly believe I don't know the key yet. I'm still learning myself.
All right.
I think it's a new task every day. It's a new task because as you grow as a man, as a woman, kind of everybody try to change, but you're trying to figure out, you got pieces of, but it's never the end of it. It's going to always continue to keep growing to me. So I just got to keep learning. You know what I'm saying? I'm still young, 31.
Yes.
I only been married 3.5 years. So
congratulations. He almost got it. Hey, I was only married 5, and 2 of them was the end of that motherfucker. So you know how that goes.
Me and my wife been together. We've been together for 8 years, but we still trying to learn. I'm still learning, and
that's the right approach. As long as you got that approach, it'll be a successful marriage, brother. Don't ever think you know everything and never get complacent.
Yeah.
And that's from the divorcee on our panel.
Hey, if you go to a counselor, a drug counselor, you want him to been hooked on drugs before. I don't want to go to no counselor that ain't never been hooked on drugs. I'm the one to talk to if you want to help the relationship.
Okay. Morris, you want lastly in parting words, Morris, do you want to give some advice to Slade? This is from your long lasting, relationship.
No, listen, I can't. I mean, what Big Play Slade said is on point. I think he's right. When in a relationship, long-term relationships, people both grow. It's either you grow together or you grow apart. Like Fred said, you have to really respect each other and kind of keep continuing to understand each other. So they both know what's happening.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen, we definitely appreciate you coming into the crew crib and giving us your time.
Yes. Hey, hold on. Hey, hold on. I got to X-Slate. You been watching them Bulldogs? We looking good right now.
Hey, we looking nice now.
Hey, we looking about time.
Getting mad with them boys, but we straighten up now.
No, we good right now because Deion then took over Mississippi. Him and Lane Kiffin then took over Mississippi. But that Emmanuel Forbes, number 13, he remind me of Jonathan Banks. He look like a faster Jonathan Banks, don't he?
That's all. He do look just like him, man. Big. Yeah. It's like we get the long corners at 6'3 plus. They all want to get 13.
They all want to get 13. But hey, number 2 is on offense right now. Where that 9 at?
Well, I'm talking about, come on, man, 2 and 9, we out there now.
No, all right. See, they don't know nothing about this conversation. Y'all don't know nothing about this brotherhood right here.
No. Y'all talking about 13 and 9. I'm talking about 5 and 0. Fred, you don't know nothing about that right now. We're talking about 5 and 0 right now, Fred.
We're gonna get to his
glove. We got the glove right now.
We got the glove right now. There it is.
Hey, Slade, do me a favor. Look in the camera and say, "My name is Slade, Big Play Slade, and you are watching the Crew."
My name Big Play Slay Man, and you're watching the Crew.
Hey, looky here, yo. We appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on, okay?
Man.
Appreciate y'all.
Right,
I should have brought my cowbell. God damn it.
Oh, goodbye. Thank you, Slay. We appreciate you. Good luck against Dallas.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all. Let's move along to the Crew Huddle. All right, we had to get to your commanders. You've been missing on the pod, and then your head coach Ron Rivera, when he was asked,
I ran. I ain't been missing. I ran. Y'all knew where I was. I didn't want to answer none of those questions. I ran.
Listen. Now, Ron. What did Ron Rivera ask? What was he asked?
He was asked.
Why do you think the teams in the division are further ahead? And then he said quarterback. And then he's asked, well, do you have any regrets? You're the one who brought that quarterback in, and he said, no, he's been doing some good things, talking about Carson Wentz, but also said he's also been struggling. Did he throw Carson Wentz under the bus, Fred?
Nope. It reminds me when I was in court, sitting there with my ex-wife, and they asked me whose fault is it, and I said it's her fault. All right, it's her fault, and I stand by it. They asked me, has she been doing some good things? Of course she been doing some good things, but she also been doing some bad things. And see, here go the thing about it is, at the end of the day, like I said, as many plays as Carson Wentz makes us, he also makes those plays that bites us in the butt, and he does it at crunch time. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's only been with the team 20 quarters, 5 games. All right, so I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day,
so what happened at the end of the game? What happened at the end of the game?
We needed 90 yards to score. He drove 87 yards and threw a pick to end the game, and that was, and we had to have this game. We had to have it.
Well, hold on now, Fred. Now I didn't see the replay. I saw the play as it happened.
Yeah.
He was in a position to where you guys could not run the ball. You guys didn't have any more timeouts.
We did.
We had to throw the ball. Did you see the replay? Was there somebody open on that play?
Yeah, it was somebody open, and the fact that he could have ran. He could have ran himself. That's the one thing about it. When you go back and you pass the ball as a quarterback, you still had an option to go get 2-3 yards. At the end of the day, this is what great quarterbacks do. They make plays, not excuses. They make plays, not excuses. And all we get is excuses right now. Like, why not? I don't want to hear why not. I want to hear why. We got wide receivers everywhere. We got tight ends, good tight ends. We got good running backs. Now, the offensive line, it could be a lot better. But Carson Wentz, you are the man that we are putting everything on, and I don't know if he can carry it. I just don't know if he can carry it.
Well, I think so. Being a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I've seen Carson, for a number of years. To me, unfortunately, I think it was a mistake for Rivera to come out, because the one thing that I've known watching Carson, reading some of his interviews, he doesn't appear to be, and I could be wrong, but he doesn't appear to be mentally strong.
Sensitive thug. He's a sensitive thug that needs a hug.
Sensitive thug that needs a hug. Now, and so it doesn't feel like that was the right thing to do at this juncture. I think he needs a little bit of nurturing.
Yeah, I feel you on that, but also we on a time restriction, because at the end of the day, if he plays 70% of the snaps this year, we have to give the coach a second rounder. If he played under that, we don't have to get a coach but a 7th rounder.
Oh,
okay. The clock is ticking.
Who's your offense coordinator?
Scott Turner. Scott Turner has actually been doing a good job. Not in the first half. That's our problem. We start too slow. By the time the second half comes, now we ready to score points. It's too late at that time. Like, great quarterbacks dictate games. I'm ready to see Carson Wentz dictate a game and not be the reason why we don't go run plays. I want him to be the reason why we run plays.
Right, and listen, and he has it in him. Carson's problem has been, ever since that quote-unquote season he was supposed to be the MVP, so up his first year, that was his second year. So his first year and his second year, he was really listening to coaching. He was accepting coaching. After he had that season, it just feels like he just kind of goes rogue and just kind of just does what he wants to do, plays out of system, out of rhythm, all of that type of stuff.
His feelings are hurt. When you said it, he's emotional. All right, think about this. Think about Morris. If I put a statue of Lorenz Tate in your front yard and you gotta walk past Lorenz Tate every time you walk home, that's what happened. They put a statue of Nick Foles in front of the building. He had to walk past it, and it reminded him of all his shortcomings every day.
Yeah, well, right now,
Carson Wentz. One more thing.
But
here's the thing with that: the Eagles went out and drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round.
Yeah,
fell apart. With Aaron Rodgers, they drafted Love in the first round. He balled out. With Tom Brady, they had drafted Garoppolo. He balled out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mental thing with him, man. He needs to get stronger mentally.
Well, if you ain't got stronger by this age mentally, I don't think it's going to happen. Like I don't think he's content. I think he still has a lot of football in him. The question is it winning football? That's the question.
Well, right now, Carson Wentz has 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, completing 62% of his passes. So
62% and 6 interceptions at this stage of his career is unacceptable.
No, that's unacceptable. He got as many wins as a dead man. That's the question. That's the bad thing.
Well, I don't know how much of a repercussion Ron Rivera's comments will have in terms of Carson Wentz hearing them, but we will definitely see, because I know right now is a lot of talk in Washington right now about that quarterback position, Fred.
Well, I believe it. I believe in quarterback face. Do you know what that is? I believe that all great quarterbacks are attractive men. I think the only two franchises that can have ugly quarterbacks is Pittsburgh Steelers. They major in ugly quarterbacks, unattractive guys, and the Baltimore Ravens. All right. Other than that, everybody else gotta have. And so, Josina, let me ask you on the scale of 1 to 10, how attractive is Carson Wentz?
10. Moving on to final take. Hey, listen. Before we talk about the game, or are we trying to set me up?
No, I asked you a question. 1 to 10, what is Carson Wentz attractive-wise? Jimmy Garoppolo a 10. We know that. What is Carson Wentz?
11.5. Moving on. Before we talk about the game of the week, because I meant to get this on before we brought in Slay, but Slay popped in the backstage, so we want to get him on as soon as he's back there. Right now, there's this story going on. I don't know if you saw it, but there is a man who his name is, what is his name? His name is Philip White, and he is a resident of California, where Morris resides. So,
all right,
this is not a surprise, but he is filing a lawsuit against the company Texas Pete because he said he was mad to discover that the hot sauce is not made in Texas and instead is a product of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Do you have
yes? I got no problem with that. Listen, California people do strange things. That's why Morris never shocks me. At the end of the day, you can't sue these people because they named Texas Pete. All right, guess what? You better get some red hots and put that shit on everything. All right, it's other hot sauces you can use. Louisiana, I don't even think it's made in Louisiana. It might be made in Mississippi. As long as it's made in America, we good.
Well, what y'all don't understand, and maybe y'all know this and maybe y'all don't, California is the sue me state. Suing people is an occupation out here in California. So, hey, we got it down pat. We know all the laws, all the rules and regulations, and how to sue people for a living. So, hey, I understand where he's coming from. That's what it is.
Well, Philip White said the lawsuit, he wouldn't have bought the Louisiana-style hot sauce or would not have paid as much if he knew of its origin.
Hey, you know what? That's terrible. That's the same people that California don't even got water, but they growing almonds. All right, they growing the thing that takes the most water out of everything. That show you what California is about. But we also talking about a state with its own economy, so you know how that goes.
Well, it's always something going on in Cali, as we know. Hey, listen, guys. What is the game of the week? We got a few choices here just for our final takes. We got Dallas at Philly. Buffalo at Kansas City. Morris, we want you to be honest. Baltimore at NYG and Minnesota at Miami.
Okay, the Minnesota game. No, it would be between the KC Buffalo
and Buffalo. Game. Yes, rematch.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most intriguing game at this point.
That's the shootout. That's the shootout at the OK Corral right there. All right. You remember what happened with the last time these two quarterbacks got together? Josh Allen just had 900 yards at halftime. All right. At the end of the day, this is gonna be a bomb burner. You talking about two of the best offenses to ever play the game, two of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Yes, it's gonna be a fun shootout, and you can best believe that I'm looking for the Bills to edge the Chiefs out because that's what happens after a game like last year. The other team comes back and win, but guess what? Then Kansas City win when it count, and that'll be the playoffs. That'll be the rematch.
Well, I would say this, though, because a lot of people have been talking about Brian Daboll being coach of the year at this point. I think the bona fide people that should definitely be getting their props is not only Brian Daboll, but Leslie Frazier. Both of the coordinators that came out of Buffalo from last year have been doing a hell of a job. If you remember, Fred, they both interviewed the head coach of the Giants. It was Brian Daboll who got the job. Leslie Frazier found out as soon as he landed that they hired Brian Daboll. But when you think about all the injuries with Buffalo, Michael, you can go on and on and on and on. Tre'Davious White, the Leslie Frazier also. In addition, Brian Daboll deserves his props.
All right, first of all, Leslie Frazier is one of the best defensive coordinators and one of the most underrated guys in the NFL. I love the person he is. He tried to get me to stay in Minnesota, and I almost stayed just because of Leslie Frazier, but I just had to get back to Washington, D.C., did not want to stay. But I promise you this, every player that's ever played for Leslie Frazier will tell you this. He's an even better man than he is a coordinator, and we never forget men like that, and his just due will come. Maybe he'll be the next head coach for the Washington Commanders. Who knows?
Well, Morris said, we're going to let you have the parting shot. It is your team that is the remaining undefeated team in the league. Y'all have the Cowboys for Sunday Night Football prime time. Y'all almost lost. Had the field goal gone in, it would at least gone to overtime. I'm just saying, are y'all going to be 6-0 or not, Morris?
It's good. Listen, I'm going to say this. It's a long season. I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing from the Eagles. You know, we're not in the Super Bowl. You know, it's not the end of the season. Let's get to the end of the season, and we'll see what's happening. But I'm encouraged by it. I think this weekend is going to be a tough game. You know, Dallas is running the ball, and they're playing great defense. I'm looking forward to seeing this game. I do think the Eagles will step up.
Yeah, they will. They will lose. They will lose. Like, it's time for them to lose. They crawled out. They crawled out of this one last week. We know one thing. We know the truth, and they will not be going 17-0. We know that. We know that for a fact. So they got to lose some. Huh?
Okay, so they're not going 17-0. So what? We can't match. How many teams? How many teams have done that?
One.
Two.
Who?
So. Well, not 17-0, but two teams have gone undefeated during the regular season.
Oh, the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins.
And the Miami Dolphins. So my heart's going to be so broken that we didn't do the one thing that only two teams have done in the history of NFL.
Yeah, wait, guess what?
Fred, who do y'all play this week?
We playing the school of the we playing the school of the blind. It don't even matter who we playing. All right, we are actually playing the Chicago Bears. So we'll set up the Bears. We'll set up to win a game this week.
They're 2-3. They actually do have the Bears. Actually have a better record.
Hey, they got a better record, but the Bears stink. All right, you know what garbage truck juice smell like? That's garbage truck juice.
Remember, Fred said that because y'all play Thursday night football.
Thursday night.
You will see this pretty soon. We don't even gotta wait till
Thursday night.
Morris. We don't even have to wait until the next show on a Tuesday to find out if Fred Smack talking backfired in his face. Huh?
Hey, listen, we
next show on Friday get a reaction from Fred.
We going to Chicago. In Chicago. Hey. First of all, Justin Fields have thrown for 3 more yards than you have this year. All right? We got them. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, well, we'll see if that ends up biting you in the butt, Fred. We know you don't have any problems with confident proclamations, but you know what? At some point, we do have to end this show. So for Morris Chestnut and Fred Smoot, I am Josina Anderson, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.
What'd
you say?
I might have to dip.
Bye.